Today we are going to read the chapter A House is Not a Home. So this about this chapter, the story A House is Not a Home is about a teenager who joins a new school and he misses his old friends, teachers and old school. His house gets destroyed in a fire and he loses all his belongings and his pet cat too. His fellow students in the new school help him by gifting him study material and clothes. This act of the kindness touches him and he makes friends with them. So one day, while he was overlooking the construction of his new house, a lady comes and gives him his missing cat. He is overjoyed to get his pet cat back, and suddenly all his feelings of tragedy and insecurity go away. So, in this chapter, there are mainly three characters. First is the teenager. The teenager is a high school student. He joins a new school and misses his old school teachers and friends. So, first character is the teenager. Second character is the pet cat. The pet cat is very dear to teenager. She is a red colored cat. And the third one is the stranger. The stranger lives a mile away from the teenager. She is very helpful as she takes care of his pet cat, finds out the details of owner of a cat from phone number on the cat's collar. So now we'll start the chapter here. In the beginning it is mentioned, my first year of high school felt awkward. After leaving high at the head of my class with all the seniority the upper grade level could afford me. It felt strange starting over as a freshman. The school was twice as big as my old school. And to make matters worse, my closest friends were sent to a different high school. I felt very isolated. Here, awkward. Awkward means strange. Freshman, it's a student in the first year of high school, college, or university. Isolated means lonely. So here it is mentioned as the narrator entered high school in the first year, he felt strange. In the junior school, he had been the head of the class and had enjoyed the privilege given to a senior. It was uncomfortable to be a fresher at the high school. The school was twice as big as the old one, and to make matters worse, his friends had got into our school, so he was lonely too. In next paragraph, I missed my old teachers so much that I would go back and visit them. They would encourage me to get involved in school activities so that I could meet new people. They told me that in time I would adjust and probably end up loving my new school more than I had my old one. So they made me promise that when that happened, I would still come by the visit them from time to time. I understood the psychology in what they were saying, but I took some comfort in it nonetheless. Now, here he would go back to his old school to meet the teachers because he missed his old school. The teachers would encourage him to meet new people in the new school and to get involved in new activities. They said that after some time he would adjust to the new surroundings and would love the new school more than the previous one, that more than this old school. So the teachers at the old school made him promise that he would visit them even when he got settled in the new school. The narrator tried to feel comfortable with these words of his teachers. Now, next paragraph. On Sunday afternoon, not long after I had started school, I was sitting at home at our dining room table doing homework. It was a cold and windy fall day, and we had a fire going in our fireplace. As usual, my red tabby cat was laying on top of all my papers, purring loudly and occasionally sweating at my pen for the entertainment's sake. She was never far from me. I had rescued her when she was a kitten, and somehow she knew that I was the one responsible for giving her the good life. So, here one Sunday afternoon, an incident occurred. Zen was sitting at the dining table doing his homework. The day was cold and windy, and a fire was up at the fireplace. So, the narrator's pet cat was laying on the top of the sheet of paper. It was making a sound, and sound which is made by the cat, that is known as purring, and was hitting on the pen. Just for amusement. As Zan had saved the cat, it remained close to him as he protected her. Obviously, if he protected her, so its affection occur over there. So, cat started becoming close to that boy, and because he protected her. Now here, my mother kept stoking. Sorry. My mother kept stoking the fire to keep the house nice and warm. Suddenly, I smelled something strange, and then I noticed it, smoke pouring in through the seams of the ceiling. The smoke began to fill the room so quickly that we could barely see. Grouping our way to the front door as we all ran out into the front yard. By the time we made our way outside, the whole roof was engulfed in flames and it was spreading quickly. I ran to the neighbors to call the fire department while I watched my mother run back into the house. Now, here, our way. My mother then ran out of the house carrying a small metal box full of important documents. She dropped the case on the lawn and in a crazed state ran back into the house. I knew that she was after my father had died when I was young. And I was certain that she was not going to let his pictures and letters go up in flames. They were the only things that she had to remember him by. Still, I screamed at her, Mom, no. So, here, Zan's mother tended the fire to keep the house warm. There was smoke filling the room from the ceiling. Within a few seconds, it filled the room and they could hardly see. They made their way to the front door and escaped into the garden. The roof had caught fire, which spread very quickly. Zan, the young boy, the teenager, Zan ran to the neighbors to call the fire department while his mother ran inside the house. So Zan's mother came out of the house holding a small box full of papers. She threw it on the lawn and ran back. She was trying to save important things. As Zen's father had died when Zen was small, so she had to save his pictures and letters, which were the only memories of his that they had. Zen screamed at his mother, not to go inside the burning house. So he said, "No, mom, no."